Woohoo! Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Jilly Jones, and I am just waiting for my guest speaker to come on to the show. Super excited to have my friend Lori Osborne joining us this morning. And she is amazing because I'm inviting all of my people. Lori is amazing, and she's going to share her background with you this morning, and I'm super excited to have her on. So it looks like she may be joining us. So, Lori, if that is you, yes, it is. So I'm going to invite you to video, and I'm going to invite you to speak. All right. So, Lori, you should probably see something like that looks like a little action camera thing at the bottom corner that you can turn on your video. I've invited you to there she is. Woohoo! She figured it out. Oh my gosh, how exciting.
New tech, man, new tech.
I know. Well, and Barbara Ann Shepard is on. So I'm going to invite her to speak and invite her to video as well, just because she joined us this morning. So how exciting. Woo, all this new technology, Lori, you got it figured out. I'm so excited.
I love it.
Well, I'm glad to have you here on the show. There's Barbara Ann. Woo, good. Welcome. We're super excited to have you. And Barbara Ann's got a pretty powerful story too. So we're going to get started with Lori, but let me just give you a little premise about the show. And we really want interaction and eventually, Q&A, as far as people being able to ask us like how we stopped waiting and start living our best lives now. And I know that sometimes is a trite, if you want to say phrase, but it really is true, especially with these three wonderful women that are on the show with me this morning. So, Lori, why don't you take it away? I love your story. And when I first heard your story, it just really impacted me. So take it away. And why don't you just, tell everybody who you are and how you got to where you're at.
Okay. So I am Lori Osborne. I am the founder and chief solution architect for BizBolster Web Solutions. I started my business 6 years ago. Oh gosh, almost 7 years ago. When I found out I had a brain tumor. It is a meningioma. Many of you may have heard of it. It's the most common kind of brain tumor. 97% of the time it's not cancerous, and so mine is benign, but it will probably be in my head forever. It sits like right in here on my pituitary. We discovered it because it started blocking or pushing on my optical nerve. So actually, it started with making my hormones go crazy because it sits on my pituitary. And then it started pushing my eye down. And, they figured out they couldn't remove it, but they wanted to get it enough off of my optical to get that drooping off and to allow room for radiation. So basically, long story short, I had a surgery through my sinuses, had debris break off when they nicked my carotid because the tumor is also part of my carotid. So nicked that, caused a brain bleed, debris caused my left eye to go mostly blind, had another surgery 5 days later. I was told I'd be back to work in 2 to 4 weeks. In 2 weeks, I hadn't left the hospital. In 4 weeks, I still wasn't even functional. So I really took time afterwards to just stop. I really felt like I was being told to get out of the rat race. There were a lot of things going on in my life. I lost my mom recently, and financially, we had done some things that were on the positive side, and I just felt like I was being told, and this was just the final straw, like, get out of the rat race. So I basically spent the next year figuring out what to do next. I'd been a project manager in IT, and it was very high stress. I didn't feel like I could really deal with that kind of stress anymore. My language skills had been impacted. So I spent a year really digging into my passion and what gave me joy. And that's when I discovered web design. And I love it. It gets me up every morning because it is what I was called to do. And I just am sad that it took me so long to realize it. But that's okay. I can do it the rest of my life. It's okay.
Well, yeah, and you know what, Lori? I think it doesn't matter, and I'm sure Barbara Ann would agree as well, that it doesn't matter what your age is, right? Because I keep reading all these statistics, which I'm super excited about sometimes, because like I'm going to be 54 this year, and I keep finding out that like in your 60s and 70s is when like you kind of come to like the pinnacle or something, like all this amazing crazy stuff happens to you that's all really good. And so I'm excited to see where the next decade is going to take me. So I'm a big believer. Barbara Ann, maybe you know this. Louise Hay, didn't she start like Hay House, or didn't she start her stuff when she was in her 70s? I think that's.
She actually was very much on the older side when she did. But if you really look at all of the stories, Colonel Sanders didn't do anything until he was retired. A lot of people didn't do things until they were older. And I know we've just got done reading Think and Grow Rich. Most of the time, it's in your 50s when and now granted, he was writing more about men at the time, but we hit our stride later in life because we've got, and so to speak, sowed our wild oats. And we've learned and we have the experience to be able to move forward in ways we never thought. Because I just turned 50 this month, and let me tell you, it is going to be the best decade of my life because I'm able to finally go, why was I spending so much time looking at this when I should have been looking at this the entire time? So stuff falls away that we all of a sudden our priorities really crystallize and we're like, oh my gosh, this is it.
Yep. Well, welcome to the club, Barbara Ann. Woohoo!
Yay, 50!
So, Lori, I guess talk a little bit about the journey, because it didn't happen overnight, right? Like you didn't all of a sudden decide, okay, I was in IT and now I'm going to do websites, right? I mean, how did you kind of come about with your journey? Like, what was your journey of self-discovery?
Well, I really sat down and kind of listed all of my strengths, and I'd actually done this a few years prior. I used to be an IT recruiter, and then I decided I wanted to be hands-on IT. And I loved what I did. I was in project management. I did software testing, management of software testing. The last job I had, I was testing websites. And that's when I really discovered, oh my gosh, I love websites. And when I was involved in the design, I was so excited. If they'd ask my opinion, I'm like, oh, yay. So, I kind of started there. And then I got on Udemy. And if you've never checked out Udemy, it's very affordable training. So I tried like multiple $12 courses and went, no, don't want to do that. No, don't want to do that. And then just got into the website, and I actually started with building a website. All of a sudden forgot the name of it. I don't have it anymore. Health Nut Like Grandma. Sorry. My grandma was a complete health nut before it was popular, before there were even health food stores. She was a health nut. And since I'd lost my mom to cancer and I'd lost my grandma to cancer, and that had been about a year before this, I really took that time to go, okay, how am I not going to die from cancer? What am I going to do different? And how am I already different from what they did? Like they held their emotions in a lot and didn't, you guys know me, I talk about everything. They didn't talk about anything. They had ulcers, they had stress. And so I feel like, bringing more attention to health. And my mom was also a horrible eater. She was a skinny, fat person. She was 120 pounds, but ate junk. And it was, no doubt that she got cancer. So, it kind of started that way. And I built my first website and went, this is just so much fun. And I honestly didn't even know if I was going to have a business. I didn't know if I was going to work again. And so really it was more about not sitting on the couch watching TV all day. I wanted to be productive and do something where I gave back to society. And then as time went on and I got better and got more help with my pain, I have a lot of headaches. I realized I really could make this a business and do it for the rest of my life and enjoy what I do on my time and when I'm able versus, trying to punch a clock.
Absolutely. I if you see me fidgeting, it's like because I'm trying to get like my lighting better or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out because I'm not liking my lighting this morning, but it's okay. It's all good because the focus is on you, Lori, this morning, and Barbara. The focus is on you, and you guys look awesome. So I don't care. I've got the bright yellow going. That's all I got going. Well, Lori, you said something the other day that I really want to get into because we were on a call earlier this week. And you said that, like, your mom passed at 63, I think it was, your grandma, the same thing at 63, and how much you were really going to celebrate your 64th birthday and beyond. So talk a little bit about that mindset. And does that play a role at all when you think about the age of 63?
It used to. It did. And I think, what I said on the call is I grew up expecting to get cancer because everyone in my family had died of cancer. And it was just this fear factor in our lives. My mom had ovarian cancer from 30 to 32. We almost lost her then. So I just kind of lived my life waiting until I got it. And I actually got it at 36. I got colon cancer. And I'm sure my mindset had a ton to do with that because number one, I was in a very, very stressful relationship and going to school and running a business and working full time. It was insane. It was an insane time in my life. And I was expecting to, at some point, I didn't expect it at 36, but so then when I got it, I just went, oh, okay, well, I'm done now. I got it over with, and fortunately it was stage 1. It was very easy to cure with surgery. But then when mom got cancer again, that's what really knocked me down. I went, oh, wait a minute. But when I took that time to look at the whys, I had DNA testing. They couldn't find anything, any connection. And they wanted to keep testing. And my husband and I said, why? So that they can find something so that I can worry about it again and go, okay, well, now I'm going to get this other form of cancer. Or should I just say, no, it's not DNA related. Actually, only 5% of cancer is DNA related anyway, by the way. So I have a 95% chance, even if I had DNA, of never getting it again. So that's how I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live it healthy and happy. And I'm not expecting to die of cancer. I'm expecting to die a very old age. I married my current husband at 43, and I am having a 50-year anniversary with him. That is my plan. We are. And if we die holding hands after that, that's fine. but we are having our 50-year wedding anniversary. So no, 63. Yes, I am having an incredible 64th birthday party. No doubt about it. I want to celebrate this broken spell. Like I just feel like we have this curse and I don't accept it anymore. It's a dead curse. It's gone. 64 is going to be wonderful and beyond is going to be even better. And our 50-year anniversary is going to be incredible.
Well, I love that. And, because there's a couple of things. When the reason I brought that up this morning, Lori, is twofold. Number one, I did some work with an intuitive development center, and they talk about negative ancestral patterns and how these patterns can continue to repeat. They're not DNA related. They just continue to repeat, like generation after generation. Like in my family, there's alcoholism addiction. So addiction is, a big one in my family. Lying is another big one, that has showed up in, our family and stuff as well too. And the lying goes back to like kind of the hidden secrets, like the hidden things that people aren't always sharing. Like I was in my mid 30s before I found out that my dad had been married once before. And that was like a huge shocker, right? Like he had been married for about a year. He had been in the military. And I was like, what do you mean he's been married? Hey, Deborah, welcome to the show. And so I was like, right? But the other thing that I also wanted to speak about was my mom as well, Lori. So my mom passed away at the age of 59 from early onset Alzheimer's, as I think both of you are aware. But see, her mom died at the age of 60 of either a heart attack or a stroke. My grandfather never had an autopsy. And so my mom was always so worried about dying before the age of 60. Now, there is no other, history of Alzheimer's in our family at all. And she passed away 2 months short of her 60th birthday. So I really believe to think is to create, and that she created that reality for her. So kudos to you, because I'm like you. I mean, that was 59 for her. Like I'm 99 and beyond, like into infinity and beyond. That's what
right. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to invite Deborah to speak if she wants to join in at all. I'll invite her to speak. And actually, she can come to the video if she wants. But Barbara Ann, do you have any, things where, you have also like this whole idea of, stop waiting, start living, or to, to think is to create?
Totally. I agree with you. We create our own reality. What we do, and I even talked about it on my live this morning, was this moment is the only one we have. There is no past. There is no future. This moment. Oh, wait. No, it's this one. No. Oh, sorry. See that they're already passing us by, right? So here's the thing. This moment is the only moment we really have. We're not guaranteed a future. The past is already past. So why are we spending so much time worrying about where we're going, what we're doing? It's only this moment. If we can be happy in this moment and we have the mindset that, oh my gosh, I'm creating everything I need right now, life becomes so much more open. And when we have that mindset of pure potentiality, we are moving in ways that we never thought possible. It's that simple. And so that having that mindset and having a limit, we place our own limits on ourselves. There's nobody else that does it for us. I mean, we can be influenced by others, but we're the only ones that can put a limit. And when we say this is the only moment, we open up everything. And so we have a different thought. We have a different action that we take, and our life goes in a different direction. I mean, some people will say we have multiverses, if you want to go that route and go that deep, that, we have infinite number of lives. We just have to choose which one we want to live.
Absolutely. Deborah, well, welcome. We're so glad that you could join us this morning. This is exciting. So, you've kind of heard a little bit about what we're talking about. Do you have anything that you'd like to add or any kind of input?
Yeah, it's about stop waiting, starting living, right?
Yes, it is.
I have to actually go to work at 11:30, so this is perfect. I'll come up and then I'll leave. But Yeah, I always had this thing. I never really stopped living. I was like, yeah, I mean, I never waited ever. I mean, I had to actually, learn the opposite because I graduated from high school in 3 years. I went to my guidance counselor. I said, I know exactly what I want to do in my life. I gotta do this. And so I doubled up on science and English, and I did it. Then I left college after 1 year because I said, I'm already getting my songs published. I'm already working. So actually, this is funny that you say this, is because I was always living, and I never knew how to relax. So, for me, it's funny because yes, we all have to live. We just have to live. We have to live. But we also have to, part of the living is to give ourselves the grace to just sit back sometimes and not have to do everything in every moment. For me, living is learning to relax too and not do anything because my brain is like this, all the time. So I didn't even know how to. My wife says to me, I said, I did nothing today. She goes, that's great.
And it is great, Deborah, because one of the things that I talk about is we're human beings, not human doings. So being in the moment and really just celebrating where you are at any given moment is really key. Because I think, Barbara, a little bit before, we're like, just so if you're like focused on the future all the time, that's where the fear comes in. That's where the worry comes in, all these kinds of things. And like, you don't even know if the future is going to be there, right? Like we are given today and we know we have this moment. Okay. And I love that, Deborah. Thank you for sharing. Because like really, so what are you doing? I got to find out because I know you're going to work, but how are you going to be today?
Oh, thank you. Today, I'm going to actually try to be cognizant of the moment as much as I can and not future trip and not dwell on certain things from the past. I'm really going to try to be present today. That is what I'm going to do today. And when I saw your title, I RSVP'd for the show and then I got work. I'm a songwriter and I'm on deadlines and I have to talk to the team today. But I'm going to be talking to the team when I'm talking to the team. I'm going to be writing when I'm writing. I'm going to be walking the dogs when I walk the dogs. I am committing because of this inspiration to just live in the moment today. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And Deborah, I'm going to find you and we're going to connect because I want to hear more about your songwriting. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's really cool. I'm in a big tribe of women, so we'd love to connect.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, how fun was that?
That was so cool. A real songwriter that's actually made it doing songwriting.
I know. Well, like, you know what? But that, again, is a great example to think is to create. When you set your intention and you're really out there, living your best life, anything is possible. It's, I'm such a big believer. It's like, how many times are you going to get knocked down? But how many more times are you willing to get back up? Right? I mean, that's really the key. So Lori, anything else like with your journey that you want to share and, talk a little bit about what you do today and what you're so passionate about, because you are super passionate. And it may not sound like a sexy subject, but Lori is super passionate and super sexy about SEO and everything else. So Lori, just kind of talk about, now that you're living your best life, like how are you helping others as well?
Well, part of what makes this business so why I feel so passionate about it is because it truly does take the best of my skills on both sides of my brain. I get to be organized and logical and use all of those skills, but then I get to be creative, and I've never been able to be creative like that in a job before. So it's missed from my life. And I come from an artistic family, and I honestly didn't think I had it. I didn't think I had the talent. And so it's been exciting to go, oh, I can do this. But what I do for my clients is I get technology. I was blessed with a brain that understands business and technology and how to communicate complex technology at a simple level so that anyone can understand it. And that got me through my career, and it's used every single day in what I do now, because my goal is to take the technology woes off of my clients' plate so they can do what they love, and then let me worry about the rest and do what I love. And then I also work with them to understand what they're doing. So I build websites on platforms that are easier for clients to support themselves if they want to. And then I also train them and then provide the services, anything that they want. We also provide a lot of SEO training, and then we have SEO services, because frankly, really, really doing well in SEO is a lot of work and does take some technical knowledge and real attention. It's to me, it's much harder than building a website, and much more fruitful in the long run, because you can have a beautiful, wonderful, great website, but if you don't tell people that it's there and you don't build your SEO, it's just a pretty website sitting there doing nothing for you. So it really has to be both. And that's really something we've started doing, is including SEO services and opt-in services, because marketing is also very important to me and near and dear to my heart. That if you're not using your website to build your list and build your tools and to build the know, like, and trust with your potential clients, then your website's being wasted.
Yep, the know, like, and trust factor. I love it. Randy, thanks for joining us this morning. Welcome to the show. We are just talking about mindset this morning and how each and every one of us stop waiting and start living. And I'm actually going to invite you to video and invite you to speak should you choose to. I think I did both of them. Yep, I did. All right. See, I'm still learning this platform, but hey, Randy, look at that. He joined right away. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Yes, I just got done working out, so I'm a little sweaty.
Well, that sounds like an example of living your best life. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
where are you coming from this morning, Andy? It looks nice. Randy, it looks nice behind you.
Panama City Beach, Florida.
Oh, yay. Oh, I want to go there so bad.
Yeah. It's nice today. Actually, it's a little windy. Water's a little rough. So in my business, we didn't run the boats today, but we'll run tomorrow. So you're in spring break right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Arizona, and
Okay.
Lori's in Florida as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm near Jacksonville.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Barbara Ann, and you are?
I'm in Herculaneum, Missouri, just south of St. Louis.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, Randy, it's been spring break here. In fact, my example of stop waiting, start living is my 17-year-old nephew from Wisconsin is visiting me this week. And I think it's a pretty big honor when you got a 17-year-old that still wants to hang out with his aunt, right?
Yes.
And we have done everything under the sun. In fact, we're headed out on the boat today for a while to enjoy a cruise around Arizona does have water, believe it or not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I went to Lake Powell last summer and stayed on a houseboat out there for 4 or 5 days. It was really
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
That's a big thing. People love those houseboats on Lake Powell. They
Yeah.
really-
Yeah. What part of Arizona?
I live right outside of the Phoenix area. So I live in a town called Fountain Hills.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember of a network called Genius Network. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of Genius Coaching. A friend of mine is with Genius Coaching, but I haven't heard of the Genius Network.
Yeah, it's in Phoenix.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll have to connect. I'm all about connecting because I'm a huge networker and I've been out in this valley for 21 years and I love nothing more than connecting, people. So we'll have to find out more about that. So,
Awesome.
well, as we're, kind of Randy, we've been talking about, so it sounds like do you have your own business as far as that you talk to us a little bit about what you do and what you, how you live your best life.
I'm still learning how to do that, but I've let my business consume me for probably the past 20 years, and I actually have been working on myself lately and learning how to love me first instead of putting all my love out to everybody else or all my, just take for example in my business, I would go and didn't want to lose anybody, didn't want to lose my employees, so I would make their life as easy as possible and do all their jobs for them. But I was wearing myself down. Yeah. And then when I get burned out, then I'd step away and then they would be like, well, it's not my job to do. I said, well, yes, it is. I've just made your life easier for the past 3 months. So what I've learned to do is pull back and let just things happen and go with the flow of life. And, nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to get, killed or anything like that. And so it's just, you got to learn to, I had to learn to pull back and not be so married to that business and just let that business run me, instead of me running the business.
Absolutely. And what kind of business do you have, Randy?
It's boat rentals and shuttle boats, tour boats. I used to have a contract with the state of Florida at a state park, and that was another really big issue. A bureaucrat, of red tape every single day dealing with that, and I think that was really. I mean, I had that for like 15 years, and it was. Let me tell you, don't ever get a contract with the government.
Well, I'm a former police officer. So, I was a police officer in Wisconsin for about 10 years. So I'm all familiar with, bureaucracy and government and all that kind of stuff. I think all of us are at one point or another. And I agree. It's like sometimes you have to cut your losses. Like if it's more work than what it's worth, and having to answer and you're just not having fun doing it, I don't believe it's worth doing it. Like really, I'm all about the fun. Yeah,
exactly. That's one thing they teach at that network that I'm in part of is easy, lucrative, and fun. ELF. You got to have those three. And if it's not, let it go.
I like that acronym. I'm writing that down, ELF, because I also wear. I'm all about costumes, Randy. So like I wear an ELF costume all the month of December. Anywhere I go, I'm like just spreading cheer. So I'll have to remember that. I like that acronym, ELF.
that came from the Genius Network. So that didn't come from me. So
I'll give them credit. I
don't want to steal nothing from nobody.
You're not. Well, I'm attempting to keep the shows about a half hour. So Barbara Ann, Lori, anything that you like, any final thoughts? Like let's talk about this. What are your being plans for this weekend? Like, what are you going to do that's fun and exciting that you're going to live out loud this weekend?
Oh, that's an easy one for me. My stepmom is coming into town in a few hours, and she's never been here. We live by Amelia Island, which is a gorgeous place. And we are going to spend every moment we can on the beach, looking at the water, downtown, shopping, just showing her how wonderful this place is that we live and enjoying. We do not spend near enough time at the beach, and I cannot wait to just put my feet in the sand. That is my zen right there. That's why we moved here.
I want to put my feet in the sand as well too. So maybe I'll have to go find. There's actually a hotel here in Arizona that has like sand by the pool. So maybe I'll just go walk along the sand by the pool. I'll just like crash the hotel. Hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
We always have an open invite to come here too. We always have a spare room.
Thank you, Barbara Ann. What do you got going on this weekend?
I'm going to probably spend some time with the hubby. We have to go sign our taxes tomorrow. So we're going to go probably have breakfast either before or after and just hang out for a while. We've got a couple projects that we're working on that it's like, let's finally get this basement done after almost 6 years. It's like, can we get this done, please? Just spending some time with him, and hopefully we'll spend a little time with our daughter. She's 12. So she's at that stage of just leave me alone. All I want to do is hang in my room. I happen to live with both introverts and I am an extrovert. So it's very funny sometimes that I have to actually plan to spend time with them. It's like, so when they finally say, hey, I want to go do something, I normally drop everything and run. Because it's just like when they finally want to do something, it's like, yeah, let's go.
That's awesome.
Before, and my husband's like, I want to go shopping. And I'm like, give me 5 minutes. I'm up. So it's like, I was sick as a dog, but he wanted to go shopping. And I'm like, let's go. It doesn't happen very often. So, but they have a knack as well. If my daughter will look at me and go, we need some mall time. And I'll be like, okay, let's go. Because every time we go, stuff's on sale. Every time. It is crazy. They both have the knack. They'll just be like, let's go shopping. And everything we want is on sale. I love them to death. That's part of the reason why I'll drop everything and run, because it's like, yeah, let's go save some money.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Randy, what do you got going on this weekend?
That's wonderful. Yeah, you write yourself a little gratitude journal there and say everything's on sale. I'm grateful for that. I'll probably do. I will do yoga tomorrow, and then I may go get like a juice or something at a little juice bar across from the beach, and just sit there for a little while and chill out. And then Sunday, I have a. You ever heard of Reiki?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing that lately. I started enjoying it, and the lady who does it to me is actually an instructor. She said you should really maybe do the course, and I was like, okay, why not?
Good
So-
for you.
Life takes me
Nice.
wherever, if I do or if I don't, ever do Reiki on someone, whatever. But I'm learning. I'm just letting life take me to different places.
Well, absolutely. And like you can do Reiki on yourself. And like, I mean, Reiki is one of those things you can even do long distance. I have a friend of mine who, while she was living in Hawaii, she was able to do phone Reiki to her clients here back in Arizona. So there's a lot about we're all energy. And I'm super excited. And what I love, Randy, is I'm all about saying yes to life opportunities. And it sounds like you're saying yes to a lot of life opportunities. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I even did it to those girls taught me into doing the 200-hour yoga teacher training. And I'm like, I'm not teaching yoga, but I'll do the class.
I love it.
That is so awesome. Yes, and I actually got some girlfriends coming over tomorrow afternoon. My nephew goes back to the airport tomorrow morning, so we still have a big day planned today. And then my girlfriends are going to come over. We're going to do some crafting. I like to do that's like a form of meditation for me, just doing some fun stuff. And there's supposed to be a dark sky. Fountain Hills, where I live, is a dark sky community. We have no lights, and there's supposed to be a dark sky festival tonight or tomorrow night that I didn't hear anything about. So I'm going to find out about that and probably go to the dark sky festival. So I'm excited to see what that's about. So yeah,
Awesome.
How fun.
cool. Well, it was so great to have everybody join me this morning. How fun was this? So this
Yeah,
was
great energy.
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, Randy, I'll find you. We'll connect and let's anytime. I'm doing these Friday mornings at 8 a.m. So anytime anybody wants to jump on and join me and to stop waiting, start living, and have yourselves an amazing, fabulous weekend.
Yes.
Hey,
See you later.
Make
thank
it great.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.